What's good, guys? Fantasy Joe back here in our mock draft Monday. Today I'm picking from the 12th spot. We're going to be on that last pick of the draft. Typical league format, half-point PPR. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comment section down below. I'll respond as always. But let's dive into this draft. So I really wanted to see what it turned out like drafting from the last spot, just being able to get in that turn and see some of these receivers that are available here. Okay, so Nico Collins, Amon-Ra, St. Brown are both out there. They are a tier above A.J. Brown to me right now. Christian McCaffrey, I would likely take in this spot with addition to Nico Collins or Amon-Ra. I think I'd probably go Christian McCaffrey and Nico. But for the purposes of this draft, we're actually going to start 0 RB. We're going to draft Nico Collins, and then we're going to take Amon-Ra St. Brown. I do think we're getting two elite pass catchers, guys who should catch 100-plus balls this year and be well over that 1,300-yard mark easily and have, a lot more upside even after that. Okay, I am happy that we started that way. To find out it's a mock draft. That's why you mock. And then Chase Brown got back to us. So I'm going to go ahead and take Chase Brown here. He should get a lot of workload in the Cincinnati Bengals backfield, and that offense should be a good one. And then I'm going to go ahead and take James Cook as well. Yeah, I just want to make sure George Kittle wasn't out there. I would have considered him, but really happy with starting with those two pass catchers compared to what was on the board then. Able to secure the two running backs in Chase Brown and James Cook to pair with Nico and Amon-Ra. I really like that 4-pack to start a draft. We'll see where we end up. Caleb Johnson's a name that's definitely tempting to me here. Jameson Williams is another one. I'm going to go ahead and take Caleb Johnson here and then tag up on Jameson Williams as well. I think both these guys have a good amount of upside this year. Jameson Williams still 24, coming off his first 1,000-yard season. And then Caleb Johnson, really good running back for Iowa last year. Was just selected by the Steelers in the draft this year. I think he's got a good chance to be their lead back in an offense that likes to run the ball a lot with Arthur Smith. Although with Arthur Smith, we have seen him, in the case of Bijan, hold a rookie running back in the past. So I think that's why he's going where he is currently in drafts. I'm going to go ahead and take George Pickens here. I think he's a good wide receiver value. Still 24, has had a 1,000-yard breakout season before. Pair him with Dak Prescott and a team that probably won't be able to run the ball super well this year. I really like the upside there. And speaking of, do I really take two Cowboys? That seems crazy, right? But you know what? I'll go ahead and take Javonte Williams here. Likely the starting running back for the Dallas Cowboys, and you're getting such a value on him at this point in the draft. Although a lot of the they weren't rookies, but a lot of the receivers I was looking at as a result went off the board there. I'm going to go ahead and take Jalen Wright here. I think he has upside with A-Chain's injury profile, just a player with a smaller frame. And I do think Jalen Wright is a good player in his own right, and that offense has yielded a lot of results for whoever is the starting fantasy running back in the past. Taking a look at who's still out there right now. I'm tempted to go quarterback, but let me snag a Michael Pittman Jr. here real quick. I remember a few years ago he was going, I think it was 2 years ago, super late in drafts, and he ended up being an awesome value. So I'm going to snag him there. Give me Marshawn Lloyd here as well. Really like his value. And now we really need to attack that quarterback and tight end spot because we've got 0 so far. I really just thought some of these quarterbacks were going to go, but I'm going to go ahead and take Jordan Love here. Missed 2 games this last year, still threw 25 tuds. The year before that was second passing touchdowns for Jordan Love. They bring in a first-round wide receiver. So there's a good amount of upside for him right now. And then taking a look at the the tight ends, because we're trying to get one of them as well. I really did punt those positions, but I didn't regret it just about at all because of the guys I was able to snag along the way. And yeah, the tight ends I was looking at were drafted rounds and rounds ahead before I would have considered drafting them either way. So it's good to experiment like that, see what happens. I usually do punt the quarterback and the tight end unless, there's such a value on one of those top 5 quarterbacks, one of those top 3 or 4 tight ends that I'm willing to draft. And let's see. Let me go ahead and take Jake Ferguson. Like I said, I think they're going to throw the ball a good amount this year. And he was super targeted as a tight end in the red zone 2 years ago. This last year, I think he caught 0 touchdowns. I expect that to be a number that bounces back. And that's one of the biggest things that sways fantasy productions is just touchdowns, and they are a little bit more random than yards and catches. So just remain the course. Bet on guys who have scored very few touchdowns, scoring more, and bet on guys who scored a ton of touchdowns, scoring a few less. Just something always good for fantasy football. Let's go over the team, though. Got Jordan Love, Chase Brown, James Cook, Nico Collins, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jake Ferguson, Caleb Johnson. Then we got Jameson Williams, George Pickens, Javonte Williams, Jalen Wright, Michael Pittman Jr., Marshawn Lloyd. I really do like our running back and wide receiver depth. It was interesting to start with the 2 pass catchers. I think if I was going to do it again, I might take a McCaffrey and Nico probably. Just give me a little bit more flexibility moving forward. And just Caleb Johnson being my flex made me feel like I got a ton of superpower on the team, although I could easily start Jameson Williams as well. But yeah, it was a solid team, but I don't think anything crazy to write home about. But this is a team that, you make a right move or two, you could easily win the ship with a team with a base like this. Those top 4 players are all studs and able to secure a lot of upside guys like Jameson and George Pickens, Caleb Johnson later in the draft, Michael Pittman Jr., Jalen Wright, Marshawn Lloyd. A lot of those guys have a great deal of upside. So I do like the team. Just think I probably would have done things a little bit differently. But again, that's why you mock draft. If you guys have made it to this point in the video, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and if you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comment section down below. This has been Fantasy Joe. Thank you guys so much for watching.